co-chairs wanted.
Oh, yeah. We're having problems with them ripping the signs down here. The Hopkins Pond sign, I put it up the last week. They took the pole both times and the sign.
Hold the pole right now.
Yeah, yeah, I'm knocking them into the ground as far as I can knock them in with a sledgehammer. What I'm doing now is putting them into two pieces. I used to use a slammer, I don't know if you know what that is. We made up a slammer that's a lot heavier than the ones you can buy. But that's praying hell in my hand. So now I use a sledgehammer because the wood will absorb some of the shock. And I'm cutting a post 4 foot, getting 3 feet to ground and bolting the rest of it too. And that's good. So I mean, if you have any kind of,
Did you take it again?
Not me. Apparently there's a
Somebody
family
thinks
named
so.
Hopkins around it, you know.
if you have any kind of letters you send around to your constituents, you know, I've beat on enough people coming out of the, when I had all that problem with the other side, so we don't lose that one now.
What sign are they using?
Thought of putting up a game camera or something to
Does it get
maybe.
stuck on or
I
not?
did.
No, that's
I gave mine away to them, I never used
the
it.
sign or the post?
Could've got them out.
No.
Well, I don't
But
have
that's
one.
basically-
Yeah.
We can just cut
Do you have
that
one?
sign right now.
What sign are we talking about, the road sign?
Good Smith
Yeah.
thing.
We watched
It's like
the,
one.
Who's
Page
the
road.
Hopkins
Cut
on
it,
that road?
exactly. But that'll hold it.
There is.
anything with a strange name is gone.
Yeah. Stage
Stage
road.
road.
Hopkins Pond.
Chick Hill Road, as far as I'm concerned, we're not nail Road 1, Road 2.
Yeah.
It would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Is it possible with a concrete pad in the ground, you know, a donut that it's attached to?
Yeah,
a
if
couple
you do any of that
If
stuff,
it
you
was-
got the machinery to do it.
If it was metal.
You're looking at the machinery I got.
Don't forget Bev.
Yeah.
Grandma, she holds it, she trusts me.
As long as it's a wood post, they can cut it
So I think Ed was just saying
unbolt it or
maybe
screw it.
if you could
Pass
talk
it along
to
there.
the people that live on the road.
Somebody's
and
gotta have
keep
some
an eye out.
authority on that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody there is.
No, I don't
No, I
think
don't
so either. But maybe
Rumor
just
has it
keeping an eye
There's
out.
a family named Hopkins in an adjacent town that thinks it's cute. but-
They get real thirsty for signs around, the end of July and August and September, and that's why they leave them alone. So it could be people blowing in here from
Yeah.
Massachusetts or something like that.
Flatlanders, yeah.
I know Eddington was having a problem with the Chimo Pond Road.
Oh,
And
same.
they were thinking about putting up a camera. I was gonna ask
And they
John if they did.
They did. And hours after the camera went up, they caught somebody climbing the pole.
Really?
Yeah.
They really did.
Bravo.
Maybe we could put in your newsletter that the town's looking for a game camera to borrow.
But you see, the secret of the polls is, they're not there just to look good. 9/11 forces us to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They can
there's a
fire
reason
people
for it.
out.
Yeah.
I would think somebody on your road could come up with something, you
Yeah,
know,
we gotta
as
keep them right
advertising,
people.
without us advertising and then suspecting that it's there.
That's not advertising it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the idea is you'd like to catch them. so
Yeah.
we're
High
doing it the same
voltage
people.
battery.
Yeah.
High voltage battery, right attached.
What?
High voltage battery attached to it.
Well, you
We were
might-
talking about spikes.
Yeah. Cindy.
Sign on 46 is at Morningwood Drive on the top of the hill. That one disappeared maybe 2 or 3 times. The cage that it's in now, my son built into Lane Supply so they wouldn't steal it anymore.
Yeah.
The guy hired him to build it. It sits in a steel frame.
Yeah.
They can't bend it off or take it out.
Weld
Wow.
it in place.
So
Yeah,
in your
that's what you have to
association
do.
budget, you probably have that, Bruce, right?
I've had
Yeah.
that problem, they just break the signs, break them off. Because I use special wrench to put the bolts and screws with it. You have to have it to take them apart, you can't unscrew them.
Right.
Unless you have the
So-
wrench.
So even if you
They
weld
just
them,
broke
they
the
break
sign.
it.
When do you next plan to put in the next one?
Next week, I got a sign in the post.
Okay, next week.
This one
There's
has
no
a
sign,
frame.
I thought there was a sign there now.
Not up,
The one
no.
the sign says go.
I don't pay attention.
Wait.
I'm talking about the one going down,
For
going down Route 9.
Oh, not the rail,
Oh,
rail line. Oh.
Oh.
It's always on the Route 9 side.
It's on the Route 9 side, so that's not
They
in
beat
your
on the arrow
area.
for a long time, they stopped, then I'm
I
starting to.
didn't even know there was one.
You know the big orange rocks?
So it's not Hopkins Pond on 180, it's.
That's Route
Yeah.
9.
Route 9.
I don't give a shit.
All right.
Which side? Is it in?
Oh,
There is a lot of.
My road
Morning, everybody.
So it goes out of Clifton, but it's not.
Where the sign sits, is that in Clifton?
Yeah.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah.
You gotta talk to the people.
Sorry, Bruce.
East.
Go down Route 9, you see this great big orange line.
Yes, but that's not part of them. Well, that's not,
That's not part
If
of
there is a
part of
little
that.
part, that's part of it.
Not of that.
their association is the Hawkins Pond Road up off 180. That has nothing to do with the road down.
I didn't know that. There's only one
Looking at the
pond.
sign after it came out, and
Why would you have two
permanent.
associations on one pond?
Well,
Or do they have?
Jill doesn't say. Cindy.
You might want to, talk to Mariahville and Amherst and have them notify their residents. When that 911 thing happened, we had to do a big meeting because the town of Clifton only has one resident at the end of that road. But they thought it necessary that the town maintain that sign out at the end of the road, where we only have one resident down there, the rest of them are all Mariahville and Amherst. So maybe you ought to speak to them other two towns and see
Take turn.
if they'll help you in trying to solve the problem or, start helping replace these signs.
Okay, my question is, do we have the same road name for two roads?
I thought it went all the way around, somebody told me.
Yeah.
No,
No, it's not all the way around.
No, one's
That's the
supposed
sign
to
you
be
told me to put up, that's the one I put
Hopkins
up.
Pond Road, and then the one off of 180 is just Hopkins Pond Road.
I can't even believe 911 hasn't said anything.
they're the ones that made the town of Clifton put that sign out there, because Mariahville and Amherst, said that's not our road. That road starts in Clifton, and we had one resident, because when
Well, what I'm saying,
I
I'm
was in the
surprised
office
this
and
call
they did
to
this
Hopkins
911 thing,
Pond.
that was a big issue. I had to talk to Mariahville and Amherst, because the road actually runs through three towns.
Right.
There's only like 50 feet of that starting that belongs to Clifton. And then there's 50 feet at the end of it where camp is.
Are
The
we,
rest of it is in two towns.
are we responsible solely because it starts in our town, whether we got anybody living there or not?
And all the way to the end, there's one camp that's in Clifton.
Does it matter whether there's somebody there or not, or does the law state because it starts there, we have to mark it?
Right.
Yeah, but I'm not-
From what she said, it sounded like from
Yep,
mom.
911.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not-
911. Okay.
I'll make a motion that we first figure out what the correct name of the road is.
Yeah.
Hopkins Pond Road East.
Yeah, somebody else told me that.
Hopkins Pond Road East.
Well, it's not saying that, it just says
Never,
Hopkins Pond.
yeah.
And then the
Well,
second
we'll
part
take
of my
those.
motion would be to check with the other towns to see if they are willing to go in on cost of the sign with us.
Have
So
a
I'll hold
second?
off and sign it.
I would hold off on the sign.
Yeah,
At least until after September, right?
yeah.
You said you're gonna go away after
Okay.
September?
Stagecoach, that,
Do I have a second on that motion on the
I'll second
floor? Okay, all those in favor?
and, I got three more I told Debbie, check on. One is the Black's Road.
Black's Road, which, remember that road is up off the Chick Hill, and one gentleman lived in there. He actually used to come in from the Amherst side, and then he travels through the woods to get to his cabin.
I put that sign up on the post, they took it twice. The next time I put it on the lamp post, it's gone. This time, when I was up there looking for it, I found where the Fire Road 36, and this is where the snow plows turn around. I mean, this is where the school bus turns around. So if I put up again, it's going up there, and I'll take my big extension ladder, and I'll have to have one to get it down. If you can put that sign straight on up the hill,
What's the cost of these signs?
I don't.
They're like $19. They're expensive.
Okay, all right.
Google
Anything
calls it East Hopkins Pond Road.
He's
East
comfortable.
Hopkins Pond.
We're just gonna make sure, because we can have another sign.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I've
Point.
never-
Maybe not really good this road, when that one goes
East
missing.
I'll probably
Hopkins
go.
Pond Road.
Okay.
That's what the official name of it is, Bruce?
If you consider Google God now, that's what Google has it.
East Hopkins Pond Road.
Yeah.
They were distinguished, the two of them.
Oh, okay, all right. All right. Are we ready to move on? Okay, okay.
Thanks, Bruce.
Planning board report minutes.
We have those on file, if anybody's interested in looking at them. we met last Wednesday, and it sounds like we might be moving our meeting. I'll confirm it with Eric, but the second Wednesday of each month. I think he's involved with the school and what's going on there.
Where are they on file?
And with us, but we have notebooks, just like you guys have.
So don't we always get a planning board meeting minute thing before? Like a minutes of your thing here? Or do I have to
We
do,
just don't.
yeah? Okay, let's fix
We
that.
did, well, we just approved it like 3 months ago last week, so.
Okay, got it.
But if anybody's interested, for now, they're all signed and approved by the board. We just didn't get to you guys. I can get you copies, that's not a big deal.
Number 2, Woodchuck Hill being placed back in the LUO November 4th referendum vote.
Yes, we need to add that back in.
Okay,
So we need to set, Eric is gonna write up the referendum,
okay.
the question for us,
And we have to hold a public hearing and all that stuff.
so,
Okay,
2, yeah.
okay, 2, all right.
So whatever we set, they'll find. So that we
Okay.
can amending the existing land use ordinance, so.
Board of Appeals, nothing. Executive session, nothing. CEO report.
Hi.
Hi.
Doesn't do
What? I know you want to leave.
That's why she waited so long.
We had special.
Our 2
events.
violations are taken care of.
Perfect, okay,
One has left the town
yeah,
and the other one's all planted.
okay.
it. You know what?
All planted.
All plant.
The tree cutting one.
Trees.
Perfect.
I'll make a motion, we accept Rick's report.
Second. All those in favor?
Anybody else have any questions for Rick?
Because he's gonna run away.
Thanks, honey.
I'll call you in the morning.
Call me if you need a nurse.
Yes.
Correct. Animal control officer report. I have a motion to
I'll
accept
make a
this.
motion, we accept her report and pay the mileage.
Okay.
Second.
19 miles. Everybody, anybody, all those in favor? Dog fecal matter, she had to go. The strawberry.
Did she have to clean that up?
I don't know. Said she didn't travel, there's no miles claimed for it.
It was 2 neighbors, and it's been an ongoing issue on that road
Oh,
over there,
okay.
so
All
they're
right.
like fighting.
Boy, I
That's
have
it.
one more thing on the road.
Oh, okay.
The road I live on, this issue that we clean. Every time it rains, all the rocks go up the road.
Uh-huh.
We have some stuff on the road.
So we'll have to get somebody to go up there and clean the front part of the ditch out. From the side of the road to the, it's up past my house.
Can that be done when they, well, first of all, are we cutting?
That's all cut.
It's all done?
You mean, not the mower, the
Mowing.
road, cutting them, no. If they mow the roads, that's not really gonna help because
No, can it be done when they mow the roads? They can, the same
should,
people.
probably gotta mow the roads and then dig it up. You can just dig up grass. It doesn't really matter. Just gotta get out of it because the road is half full of rocks and junk.
Out into the main road, Route 9, or your road? Yeah, okay. Do we have money to pay for it to be done?
It's still good.
So,
Depends.
anybody's pleasure, what do we want to do about it?
Well, we'll have to see what's from the people who have to do stuff a little more, to dig it up.
Okay. Mike or who? Okay.
We have a couple contractors,
Yeah.
I think.
It shouldn't be that much, I don't think we have much money. I doubt it would be,
Just in this town, yeah.
somebody wants to, I don't think.
Well, let's at least get a couple,
1,800 is that.
let's get a couple of, yeah, 2 quotes at least.
I'll make a motion, we get some quotes to dig out the ditch on Gotcha.
Okay, do we have a second? All those in favor? I will support the next meeting. Yeah, Eddington Fire, oh, we did jump that, Ed jumped. Eddington Fire Department report, informational. And, what's the other one, SAD school board report,
I have not heard from Scott, so I'm not sure
okay.
what's going on with him. So.
Have they met? I don't even know if they
I
met.
don't
Yeah, I think July they were. They've met a couple times for different things, but I don't think the actual school.
Okay,
That could be the reason.
okay, moving on, buildings. Roads.
Roadside moment, have you got anybody else?
Yeah, I have one there, yeah. A quote, and then the other guy never got back with him, so.
You know the road?
Well, we can discuss it.
So roadside, this is, we want to talk about that now?
Yeah, this is Tim Richardson. He's done it in the past, and this is his equipment he lists. And he has quoted $85 a center line mile. I'm really not sure how,
What does that
I don't know, because normally they do it,
Two sides of the road,
I know,
no mold center.
from the center line.
Who's done it in the past?
Last year we tried to follow it, they didn't get it.
They didn't do a good
They
job?
don't have the equipment to do it.
Oh,
He
okay.
had, he's got the proper,
And he's done it for us before?
You gotta have a hammer at more.
he knows the mileage, so.
Mm-hmm.
Carol, I
Yes.
think that center line mileage means that it's $85 a mile, but it includes both sides.
Well, we ought to say that.
That's tricky.
All right. You want to clarify that with him?
I will.
When do we need roads mowed by?
Probably in August.
And
So that's next week.
Yeah, that's pushing it, so that, September.
Should be done by now, actually.
Yeah.
we have,
Also the, Mike did a good job grading, because the roads are still in decent shape now. And they went all the way, and this cat's got the idea of how to grade roads. I ain't too sure he does a better job than Johnny Falcon. So I'd like to keep him on that, we let him turn and moves again in September. They'll take care of what's out there now, and it'll be good until next year. But he gets it way out, so you're pushing the berm off, that's what you want.
Okay.
Doesn't keep washing that stuff back into the center of the road.
Right.
And he also finished through the brook on Stagecoach. So God, Debbie, I've been talking
What's
to
the other one?
him.
Is that under
Do it this
cemetery
week.
mowing too?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be,
Okay.
extend the pipes, put the road back there that's gone, and put, yeah, let them bounce off the gutter.
Yeah, yep.
I thought we had a line item just for
I thought we did
roadside.
too.
What?
We take it out of,
Money-wise?
yeah, we take it out of the road.
Road.
and it's- Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, if it needs to be done next week and we only have this
Oh,
one.
you can push it off, no, beginning, it's not gonna be that.
Well, who do we anticipate might bid it or submit another bid? Do we think there'll be another bid submitted?
There was a call to another Edgecombe, I believe, the contractor's name, and he
Yeah.
never responded
I
back.
told her about that one,
I think he's got a lot of
somebody told me
towns.
about that guy, and I just thought, I don't know where, but I just said it was somebody who was coming up from Dover.
Okay.
I wouldn't even, usually get $1,400 to do that.
Yeah, it was
One
about,
of those.
used to be under 1,000 and it prepped up to like 1,000 and I can't
But
imagine
he,
it would be less than 1,200.
Jay carried it over on, Chicknell Road, did a
Mhm.
good job, and they knocked the trees down in the corner so you can see them coming out of
Oh, good.
Stagecoach where we're going. They even get down in the brook and cut some of the brush down,
Okay.
which, I was surprised.
With the mowing, we're not
Okay.
talking like 11 miles,
No.
because
No.
we don't do 180, just out of town.
Right,
roads,
right,
so
right.
We were shotting him up,
Probably,
to see what, we added another 900 to the, Bobcat Road, 900 feet to the, they still have to move this, yeah.
like, yeah, 6 miles tops.
So I was gonna say, even if they did 10 miles, that's $850, so
Yeah.
it's lower than 1,000.
Pleasure on accepting this bid or?
I'll make a motion we accept the bid and the roads.
Second. All those in favor?
And he's used our roads, so.
I want to talk to him before we want to go over before I shut off.
Yep.
So I can show him what we're at.
When did we ask for quotes?
They just, normally they call, these people know what time of year we do this, so they start calling, this is what I did.
Okay, so he called us and we
Yeah.
contacted Edgecombe, but
Yeah.
we didn't do any more.
Not out in the paper now.
That was, the person that had it last year doesn't have the equipment to do it. The year before that, that guy didn't do a good job. Redwood before that, then I worry about it, these roads.
We had a gentleman call, he was gonna buy equipment, he lives in town and has, lawn care business.
So that-
Richardson has good equipment, and he's been.
With the hammerknife mowers, that's what I call them from the 50s. They don't only mow like this here, they can pick it up and still cut the tree, trim the trees as they go along.
Okay. Okay, snow cone bids.
All right, I put a copy, I put a copy of the contract, so you guys can look it over a little bit.
Yep.
Before I have the original from last year. But, you know, if you wanna look at it right now and see if we wanna tweak it a little bit, it seems like after the fact is when we say, well, we should have said this, you know.
I'd rather take a copy of that one.
Yeah, you have it, you know.
It's in there.
Yep,
That's my
you should, Julie.
personal opinion of that.
Oh, yeah. All the roads are listed, what they have to do,
Has anything changed as far as the bus turnarounds?
not to my knowledge.
Okay,
Um,
that's still the same.
Well, just while you guys are looking, I'm just gonna run out some numbers here that I did, for salt and sand, because I knew this gentleman was
Yeah.
coming here. We used, this is 2013 and 14 contracts, that's how our contracts unfortunately are broken down. 300 tons of salt, and then we used 3,568 yards of sand.
How much?
How much sand?
3,000, and normally, the sand bid is only like 1,200 yards, I think we asked for.
What was the total, 3,000?
568. That was the total yardage for sand.
That's yards?
And 300 tons of salt. And there's 31,000 for sand for the 2013-14, 21,000 in salt. So,
21,000 in sand,
salt,
just in
Yeah.
salt.
yeah, 31,
31, okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask what we're paying a ton of salt?
For salt, well, it goes out to bid every year. This year it came in at 51 something for Morton Salt. It goes through that,
You did the county bid?
they won the bid this year. Never even heard of them before until this year. So, I mean, in
We-
talking to
we
this
have a-
gentleman with a
We
dirty
have a
salt.
problem
Some
with one of
company with
the sand is here.
Morton, is that the same taking company?
I believe so.
That's about twice as much sand as they should use.
And then I did, with my sheet, I went back a couple of years and our expenses in the last, from 13, 14, then 12, 13. I mean, we've spent some money in sand and salt, a lot. More than the earlier years.
But we mix it and we store it. No, we don't mix it.
They
They mix it in a truck. Is that what they
Sand,
do?
get the salt,
We get a pile sand, pile salt.
because it takes equipment to mix it.
Right, okay,
Unless
so,
you really want to.
That's part of their contracts, I mean, in here that whoever wins the snowplow contract, they mix the sand and salt once it's here.
They bring in a load of salt or sand and then they put sand.
okay. I just wasn't
From the
sure
stock.
Yeah,
with this new product, how that would have affected how we store it, but.
Sure,
well, I think it would
like-
stay right,
Right,
yeah.
but still, yeah.
And then the other, what I was thinking about, we still need some sand, you know, where would you house, huh?
The dirt,
Yeah.
sand on the dirt, put sand.
Well,
But if I could just.
we still got sand in the shed. You can shove it in one
Right,
spot.
you can
Different
have
trucks, so the
separate
sand
things.
truck can
But
go
the
back.
problem's gonna be,
How do
if
you
we
do that?
decided to go with that new mixture, we've got the roads that have the pavement and the sand, the dirt road, and you can't use that stuff on the dirt road, so it's gonna be a nightmare
Most
for the
of-
contractor.
The only roads we're really gonna be able, would really be able to use that on is 180
It's got
and
points.
Scotts Point.
My street.
Hmm?
The town all the way.
You got all the way?
Brook off is pretty much,
Leave
except for
that
the
alone.
very
Is
last,
that all the way?
pretty much.
Check Hill Road.
Well, because you're not gonna want somebody to go down there with,
Chick Hill
and put
Road's
this
got
stuff
dirt
in it, and then turn around and go back there.
No,
Chick
turn
Hill.
around.
Chick Hill Road.
No, that's gonna cost you more.
Check Hill Road.
Chick Hill Road.
It's all paved.
Other towns are saying
They-
about
they-
it.
The Brook Off Road
It'd be
and
worth a call to
part of the
you.
Getcher
Yeah,
Road, way down
that's-
towards the
Yeah,
end.
ask them, like,
It gets dirt.
get his
Okay.
figures from a year before and a year after.
Yeah, I wrote down there was
Okay.
another name of town, Brennan or something.
Brennan and Union.
So we have quite a bit of the roads tied, a lot more than that. See, we're working on
We have
both
more
ends of
time.
the Bobcat Road. I did 900 feet of Bobcat Road, and some coming up the other way. But there's gonna have to be some ditch dug in it, on a Bobcat Road, we can go through the middle of it.
Okay,
So
so let's
now-
get back to snow plowing bids. Where are you were gonna give us something there for
Yeah,
figures.
and we want to think too now, I mean, this is a huge cost, and how we budgeted this past year,
We lumped
we
it under one big-
lump sums,
Some.
and we, 94,000, so if you look in your expense report, we don't have 94,000 because of how our contracts go from one year to the next. I think it was like 66 in that budget right now, 66,000. And our last year contract for just plowing was 55,000. So you know a contract is gonna come in at that rate somewhere. So we don't have a lot for material.
Is this a material quote
This is what's left out of this line item right now.
from out of that 94,000?
Right, because we still had to pay
Right,
from last
right.
year.
Okay.
Whoever started this way, this winter contract, I wish we could put it in 1 year, but it just never happens. We can't. We do have a
Well,
reserve.
the following year goes from,
Right,
add
November
to-
to, but we do have a reserve, so, I mean,
On what?
not a lot. It's 27,
What
it's
is it
just,
now?
snow removal. So,
That isn't the remainder of the contract the year before? That's the way they used to carry that.
what's
As
that?
of the end of the fiscal year, the auditor would carry an amount that was left committed. That's
Yeah,
what
we
you're talking
have-
the reserve
Yep,
is.
that's
That's
the
the finished
reserve.
paying this last contract.
Yep.
So, we haven't moved any monies yet, so there's still, we'll put that in that line item. But we don't have like we had last year to spend. So,
Did we have it last year spent?
no, that's why we're negative, because
well, see,
it's like
we
John Williams, that was
Yeah,
his
we had
hard
those
part.
ice storms.
We had an incredible year last year.
And John said it's like, we're never gonna get caught up because we've always been in the rear the last several
Yeah.
years because of our material.
No, but we've been using, you have to look back.
I
It
did,
seems to me twice as much as
we have. You know, our winters have been a little more extreme the last couple,
Right.
but, I mean, I wanna say since 2000, when Red got the contract, 2010, 11, it seemed like it snowed and never stopped, and it hasn't stopped since. Prior to 2010, the cost was down, it was in where we budgeted.
Can I ask what we've spent it on so far this year? The
What?
expense that you've got going?
We,
You said there's only 66 out of 94,000 left?
that's for the winter.
Right, but what have we spent it on? If our year ends 31st,
We
would it
carry
be February
from
and March's payment?
March
We
and
had
April.
salt and sand both delivered
February, March.
after February 1st,
Let me see, I have to get my expense report.
which was on this year's budget.
Right, so I mean,
Oh,
we're
okay.
already.
I didn't
into it.
realize you had it after that, after
Yeah.
the year ended.
That's why I said it's it's hard for budgeting. Well, it hasn't been.
The winter goes on till April,
Yeah,
yeah, May
I
sometimes.
think it was in, right around the 1st of March, that we had to get more.
Yeah, and on your expense report, you can see it, you can see where I paid it out.
So as far as the contract, I didn't look it over until tonight, so I don't know if there's any changes we need to make. But we need bids like next month.
Right. I
I
mean,
already
if you
told
guys
Mike
can
you-
bring this
you
home
bid.
and, huh?
I already told Mike the bids are coming, so he's
Well,
gonna
I
do
mean,
that.
you guys need to make sure the contract's right. If
We
you
had
take it over,
zero,
look at it
zero
tonight.
complaints in that room, that they said he took care of.
Right. If you at least look at it this week, I mean, if we put it in next week, it's not gonna be critical. You guys can at least say, contract looks good, let's put it out.
Is there anything in here, I know at one time we wanted listings, when, how much they're using and stuff like that. Is that in the contract? I thought it was, but
A listing of what?
how much each time they take a load,
Mhm.
how much they're
We,
using.
they never, since Rick Musson stopped doing that, we've never
Well, I think we should.
Yeah, they can tell you how many truckloads they take per stone, that would be too, I don't know.
It's so difficult for them when they're out on like 3 different roads to write down, I was on this road, then they're running back here to get a load to go out
But
to the next
you're only
few
looking
roads.
you're only looking at 2 trucks.
Well, yeah, I know that,
Yeah.
but to keep, you'd have to have a clerk with you while you're plowing. That's the part, I mean,
Well, even if they, at each storm, if they reported how many loads.
Truckload A and truckload B.
Oh, I think
that
Comments
they
is
use, that would be.
Yeah, but you're not here at night.
no, not that part, but during the day, it's like a
What
rodeo.
you want to have them is keep track of what truckload A takes out of that salt shed, what truckload B takes, just as low.
Could we have a log sheet in the shed so that,
They wouldn't get out and lock the gate.
well, if it's part of the contract, you know,
And I do have a log sheet drafted, because we did.
Yeah, because we did it at one time.
But we
It's
never,
still,
Rick was faithful for a while. Seemed like it was listed.
I thought it was too.
Oh, the one thing that was listed on the second or third page was that they need to put pure salt on, and the contractor agrees to comply with the instructions from the town of Clifton's representative. That's the third page in. But, and then under that, it's agrees to pay particular attention to hills, curves, intersections, and apply extra salt sand to such locations when necessary. I mean, the hard part is, last year we had a lot of product put down on roads, and last year was an extreme year. And everybody complained about it, but my comments always are, how do you equate safety with maneuvering around town?
but basically when I first started this merry-go-round 12 years ago, whatever we budgeted, that's all we ever used. We didn't have to add more, we add more.
Right, and that's what I
The
said.
last-
Just then, within the last 2 or 3 years, we had to add more.
And
But we've had incredibly difficult winters too.
well, we had some back
with
12 years ago too.
With 180 being 8 miles of our 11 or 12 roads that we plow in town, which is horrible. Cindy?
Does that contract still say that they will commence plowing and continue until so much of either side of the yellow line is visible?
But no.
No.
It always did. And that's what we ran into when Ricky was plowing, when I came up that time to complain.
It says
Because they
that.
go out and make one swipe and leave.
No, it says that the contractor shall commence plowing and sanding operations when the snow is on the roads has reached a depth of a ½ inch if the snow is wet and 1 inch if it's dry. Operations will continue until the roads are clear of snow and ice to the outside edge of the shoulder on all roads named in this agreement.
Yep.
During severe storms or drifting, plows shall be operated in order to maintain 2-way traffic.
See,
Most of our roads don't have yellow lines. except one.
and the part that we have where we're wasting the salt and sand is, the guy up in the hill that does my road, he puts his dual wheels right in the ditch. So when he's throwing sand, you know where it's going, don't you? In the woods.
Right.
You can plow from the middle.
So that guy
There's nobody
said.
coming up and down that road, you stick your thing in the middle, hit both sides at once.
Right.
That would save a lot of sand.
Well, I think we have to think about getting bids out, and whoever gets it, then it should be also part of that contingent for us to have a conversation with them, or,
Well,
you know,
you know how many conversations
I
had.
know how many conversations you
That
had
guy
last
doesn't
year. Well, and that's not up to us to do. You know, that's the hard part. The one thing, I mean, in this, it says on one of the next to the last page, the annual payments to the contractor will be $52,000. I mean, should we have that number in there?
No, I missed
That goes
sorry.
out, oh, okay,
Because I
all
was
right.
across my note.
What has to be put in that last column you just read, the last payment doesn't get paid until they clean up that mess. And then it would get cleaned up. They won't have to
I
pay.
don't know if we can hold payment legally.
I have to say, 180's been awesome the last couple of years.
It has
so
been,
I can't complain.
no.
And if we have a
Last year
contract,
they had to bring the machine back to do what I told me I had to do to start the season. So they didn't save no money.
Well, and I think that's part of an agreement. I mean, there's not gonna be any perfect contractor. It's up to us to be on top of it, and I just want the roads in this town safe, as everybody does.
So don't I. I'm not gonna make one say.
Okay,
Just the dates on the, payment schedule need to be corrected.
No. This is just a copy.
so do we wanna hold this and look at it? Do we feel it's okay, not okay, what is everybody's pleasure?
I would like some, if everyone else agrees, something added to have better control of what goes out of there, just so we can keep a some sort of log.
You know, they can put a log up there without even wasting any time. The guy has to get in the loader his truck. He has to get out of the loader and go right on the sign before he gets in the truck and goes plowing. So
I'm
he's
sure we're
already,
not the only
there's no
place
motion
that
being
requires
wasted.
a log of what's.
Yeah.
Right. Or even if it's more convenient for him to have it in his truck, you know,
Right.
just some sort of log would be good.
And at the end of the week, pass it into the office or something. I mean, Rick
Just
did
add a
that.
paragraph that says the contractor will keep a log of, and with the number of truckloads of salt sand used in each stone.
Truckloads, yards, I'd rather have it a little more specific, I mean, they know what they're loading on there for
Well,
yardage.
they have two different sized trucks, so, you got some truckloads with so many ads, that hold so many ads, because there's one truck that holds.
We don't put that much straight salt down. Once in a while, there's those.
Yeah, but the stand that they put out has salt in
Oh, I
it.
understand.
It's-
But even if we, just put that on the truck one.
Right, right. And maybe we can fine tune it after we figure out how it works.
Report weekly.
I have a comment.
Yes,
Whenever we have work done with excavators filling dump trucks, it's the log is in the excavator. So when you putting the log in the loader where they have to do it, they're not gonna waste any motion, very simple,
Right.
and then it just gets checked.
absolutely,
They know that the bucket, how many yards it takes. in that bucket.
absolutely.
But they'll-
Yeah, so I don't think that'll be hard for them to plan.
Report weekly.
We make this a different,
Weekly or storm, I don't care what it is, as long as it's
And turn
accounted
into the
for.
office after each stone.
Okay.
But they may come out in between storms, come out the next day or whatever, and have to treat a certain portion of the road.
oh, that's another thing I wanna, we're not having any luck with them locking the gate, so I think that if we put a double chain across the building out here,
Mhm.
I think it would serve better. We're having, most of the people get used to the sandbox we have there, so they're playing with the sandbox. And, they don't, they just ain't gonna put that lock back on there. But they might put it on up in the bird,
Shed
salt
itself.
shed.
Mhm.
Try that. We probably could get that guy down Route 9, go up here, wall a couple chains, so it can be done with one lock. You know, I could stop down and ask him if he can do that. I know he can do it, he's a welder.
Thoughts on that?
All right, I'll do
Okay.
that this week, I'll go down and ask him. Because I keep buying locks, and they come up all kinds of issues. We get the lock up a little bit higher off the ground.
My comment is they're not gonna lock it there either.
No.
Well,
If they can't lock it there, they're not gonna lock it there.
But that can be,
Didn't we have something in here about the gates too?
no,
We took that out after it was out. We might wanna think about putting a door on the shed eventually.
Doesn't have
Raising some money each year for the next couple of years or something.
electric doors, thing.
Okay,
Do other
Well, I'll make a
towns?
motion and look into
Yeah, I'll go see what it costs.
the locks for the chains for the actual building.
okay. Have a second?
I second it.
All those in favor? Okay, and what do we want to do with the contract for snow removal and sanding?
I move we accept this contract with the additional paragraph that we requested.
And the corrections will take a look. to put you out and the dates and all
Yeah.
that. I'll second that.
And do you wanna, we read back your comment? We're gonna add on it.
I put down, the contractor will keep a log of the sand going out, report, I put weekly, but after each storm.
Yeah.
And then I have my pencil marks.
I would say sand and salt,
Yeah.
and not just sand, sand and salt. Should, you know, how much salt goes in it.
Okay,
And, all of it.
all in favor? Any opposed? To agree or to oppose?
I agree.
Okay, all right. I don't know if you're
I'm just
scratching.
swallowing the
I don't know if you're
door.
scratching your head or you had your hands up.
So
All
let
right.
me just clarify, we will have this out in the newspaper and.
Oh yeah, let's vote motion to do that.
I'll make a motion that we put it, out to bid, putting it in the newspaper however many times we have to, and have bids for our next meeting.
I'll second that. All in favor?
We only need it once we put it in the paper.
Yeah.
We can put it in our news.
Yeah.
Get the newsletter and all that. And you could also call any of the contractors we have on our list.
I already talked to Mike
Yeah.
about that.
The other thing is our sand, we're kind of in between of what we're gonna do, because we did that out as well.
Well, if you can't use that stuff on the dirt road, we still have dirt road. Unless we wanna put
Do
some
we
kind of.
wanna, because we got plenty enough time for our next meeting to do some research
He's
and,
gonna send you some
yeah.
information, and
We could split that,
we can vote on that in our
you could put stuff to the right and to the left, so we can put it there,
Mhm.
two different types.
Like if we wanted to try it the first year on 180, we
If
could have a separate
Yeah.
spot for
What
it.
he gives us is cost effective and he'll train the contractor to do it. It might be worth our while to do it
Because right now,
for our tag road.
I've got all the sand that's left in there moved to the middle of the floor, because we had to paint that, so it'd be easy to push the sand one way or the other, and put a load of the other stuff in.
You said something about getting a sample RFP from Union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
part of it,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
It'd be good to just see what kind of language they're
Yeah.
using, and
yeah.
that way the contractors know what to quote.
And like we talked
Talk
about
to towns that
contractor.
have done
I think
it.
it'd
be
too.
early
on.
I would
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You might wanna wait until after you award a contract and
Yes.
talk to the contractor, because if he doesn't wanna put that stuff
That's
in his
right.
machine,
That's right.
there's no
Absolutely.
sense in you even going there.
Well, it's supposed to be
And
better
it's
for the
gonna be a
machines.
pain for them to go up 180 with one truck with that in it, and then have to have another truck go up and do the Cooley Road.
That's
We
what
have
they
that.
have.
Dirt
They
road.
have two trucks anyway.
And
That's
that's
what
one
they
of
They have
the.
one truck for 180 and another truck that does the truck.
That's
So
it.
what's following? Well, that's something.
I still think we need a lot more information
Yeah.
about this
Yeah.
stuff before we make any big, huge,
Just make sure
Decision or
it's on
commitment.
our old business for next
Yeah.
year.
okay. Treasurer's report.
I'm like, lost here. Okay.
Where's Kathy, by the way?
Kathy
She went to
has
Funtown.
a day off and she's gone to Funtown, which I think we all ought to be there. With
Yeah.
our grandkids. Eating no poison cotton candy.
Yeah,
Even
maybe
what I want to
she's
do.
probably burnt towards us.
Where's Funtown?
Okay.
Shuffle.
Hang on, I'm trying to get this all organized again. After. First thing is our municipal evaluation report needs signatures, and this gets sent to the state. And this is what our commitment book is,
Mhm.
exactly the same thing. Mark prepares it, he just got it to us.